Hi, welcome to Market Alert for Wednesday, the 21st of August 2019. So bonds and bullion bidders fading, stimulus hype sinks stocks and US dollar. So what basically we're saying is that the hype behind the stimulus has gone off the radar at the moment. So this put stocks under pressure for yesterday. So let's just have a look at the Dow. We'll start off with the daily chart. And you can see the 76% there holding and sending the market lower. However, prices have turned around on the overnight, but this very low volume here is a bit of a concern. Not much interest at the moment, and this is possibly down to waiting for this at 7 p.m. and we'll see what the Fed announces later on. So that's probably the reason why we can expect more of the same until this has been released later today. If there's a surprise on reducing rates, who knows? Market moved lower. You can see how support was found. We then have a 76% retracement before the market moved higher. Went through the 200 bar moving average on some buying, but then we see here we've got an upthrust on only just above average volume, but was enough to sink the market. You see them buying back here. Market rallies up to the 200 bar moving average, then 76% of this move to the 200 bar moving average, and then prices eventually oscillating below the 20 bar moving average, closes back above there, and then eventually sells off towards the close. But overnight you can see that prices have staged a bit of a comeback. Still need to close above the DP and the 200 bar moving average, but back above the other two at the moment. Meanwhile, in the pound, yesterday we had a couple of sells, the market moving lower on selling, which you can see there, and then eventually the market tested at the S2, and we see prices moving back above the 20 bar moving average with professional buying. There's a bit of selling there, but this is one of those bars that comes off the lows, closes back above the 20 bar moving average, and then there's a huge spike to the upside as the US dollar moves sharply lower, and this was enough to send the pound higher. You can see there finding resistance once it rallied back as well. And overnight this market above the DP and the 200 bar moving average, but a bit of resistance here with the two averages in the way there. In the daily chart, so we've got a bit of a move to the upside going at the moment, even though yesterday the market came back below what you would see as a start of a bit of a trend channel there, and no doubts we'll come back and retest this going forward as well. In Bitcoin, this lower for sideways for yesterday. This is today's bar. It's moved lower overnight, but yesterday very narrow range with the market trading up to the 20 bar moving average here, and now working its way back. I'm just going to delete this 76% retracement here and add in a new one just to see what we've got on the downside there. So that's where I would be looking for this market to pull back to, and let's see if it does. It could reverse. In the 4 hour we're back below the 200 bar moving average, but this has happened overnight. So again, what I would be doing here is to have a look from this low to this high, and sure enough the market's already sitting on the 76% retracement, so we could find a bit of support here and an attack against the 200 bar moving average there. In the intraday yesterday it was fairly quiet. The market attempted to move higher, but then came back and sold all the way down to the 200 bar moving average, then traded sideways, had another look at the 200 bar moving average, tried to sell below it, and this bar here is a beauty. You can see there the volume is very high as they brought the market back. Didn't really advance much to the upside, as we would like, but back to the resistance to the left there, and then prices, you will see overnight breaking back below the 200 bar moving average and sailing southwards there, but finding support at the moment. So again, we've got the short term below the 200 bar, the medium term below the 200 bar, and the daily still sitting above the 200 bar, which you can see just there. So a quick look at other news. We've got Deutsche Bank still holding at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if it does come and have an attack against this. It's amazing how close it got to Charles Nenner's prediction of $6.40 per share for Deutsche Bank, but still hasn't broken it. The implied volatility bouncing off the 20 bar moving average for yesterday, and if we can look at the prices, you'll see we're still below the 20 bar moving average. Unless the Fed does something, there is still a lot of downside pressure in this market for sure, and we still haven't got a 100% increase in the implied either. So looking a bit closely at the figures, yesterday we see that we increased from 1554 to 1669, again bouncing off that 20 bar moving average. Needs to close back through it, as you've seen here, for the market to move higher. So at the moment the Dow remains short unless there is some sort of announcement or stimulus or whatever to send prices back to the all-time highs. So struggling a bit at the moment. In fact, let me just go back to the Dow and to the daily. Oh yeah, we've already done it. I was going to say I could see a 76% retracement on the spreadsheet there that I've got created here. I was just looking in this area, and you can see we've already taken care of that in the PPT software. And that's it really. There's not a lot to report. The market waiting for the FOMC later, so I'd expect a quiet morning again, unless something comes out of the blue. But even so, now it's fairly quiet as we look at the intraday there, and then the same for the Dow at the moment as well. I'm stuck in a bit of a range there. Okay, that will do it for this one. Don't forget the Fed tonight at 7 p.m. And as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.